Well, hello, and thank you for attending our exhibitor training session. It's always a pleasure to talk to our customers so that we can do everything that we can to set you up for success at MetalCon. The topic of our session, running up the score, enhancing your exhibitor ROI, return on investment at MetalCon. I am one of your hosts. My name is Mark Swaggerty. I am the exhibit sales manager here at MetalCon. And at this time, I also want to introduce another participant in this session. His name is David Weaver. Dave, say hi.
Hello there. It's nice to see everybody.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, let's begin. It all starts with the fact that you hold the keys to your return on investment. MetalCon provides an exceptional platform to connect, engage, and expand your business. With the right preparation, you hold the keys to unlocking your trade show success and maximizing your return on investment. The first thing that we want to get down to talking about is the fact that time is money. And your pre-show preparation can save you time, money, and what's not on this slide, stress. Many of the things that you do before the show can keep you out of the long line of people waiting to talk to David Weaver on the show floor. And with that, Dave, let's move on to the next slide and you can talk a little bit about these things.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mark. So today we're going to talk about tips from an expert exhibitor. So starting right off here, carpet/flooring on MetalCon is required. More so than just being required, your goal is to have people want to be inside of your booth. And what better way to do that when they're walking around on hard concrete floor all day? Give them something nice and comfortable to step into. Something nice and comfortable like a nice thick carpet that also ties into the scheme and color of your booth space. So definitely take advantage of that and make sure that you have something that covers the full space of your booth. Do not forget about cleaning or power. So starting off with cleaning, the trade show floor can be a messy place during move-in. There's lots of forklifts driving by, dirt and dust being kicked up, people ripping open cardboard boxes, packing peanuts, you name it. So make sure that you don't show up on show day with a dirty or messy booth. Get you some either one-time cleaning ordered from us or a daily vacuuming as well. For those of you with machinery that's going to be cutting and creating a lot of scrap metal, we also offer scrap metal collection as well to keep your booth space clear and clean. And then when it comes to power, your booth space does not already include an electrical outlet, but almost everything that we're going to be using at a trade show floor these days, we're going to need some sort of power to back that up. Whether it's just your cell phone and needing to have a charger to plug that in, or if you've ordered a TV, you don't want to have forgotten about that power outlet. So make sure you get that ordered as well. Ship early for peace of mind. Advanced Warehouse opens October 7th through the 18th. So we do allow shipping either to our advanced warehouse or direct to show site, but especially if you're going to be shipping in things that are small package, and you're going to be shipping those into our advanced warehouse that's open between October 7th and the 18th. You know, a lot of times those pieces can come in and they get on different trucks, or they come in and they get split up, they get separated in some type of way. So just make sure that you ship them in early to the advanced warehouse so you have a little bit longer time for those to arrive and peace of mind when you get that notification that it's there with us. Make sure that your freight is labeled with your company name and booth number. Seems self-explanatory, but a lot of times people will send their freight and it'll just say, "This is for Alex." Well, that's great, but I need to know who is Alex, where does Alex live, so that we can get those pieces over to you. So make sure you get that company name and booth number written down. Consolidate those small packages. Less small boxes, less chances that they're going to be misplaced during shipping. So again, back to what we were talking about with the small packages. If you've got 10 pieces and you send all those out, one arrives a little bit later, one ends up going to the wrong place, you don't want to be in that situation. So putting them all into one larger box, it's going to be a lot less likely that it gets misplaced, and you get that peace of mind when that shows up that you know all of your pieces are there. Order your labor early and check in on site. So, if you are already knowing that you're going to need to have booth labor or you're going to need forklift labor, you can actually order that as early as right now. You can log in online with us at the Expo Group and put that in. What that lets us do is go ahead and prepare for you. So, if we have any follow-up questions, anything that we need to check in with you, then we'll have time to have that conversation. And then when you get on site, you'll know that we've got somebody set aside and ready for you. And when we say check in on site, we don't automatically dispatch those teams just because, we want to make sure that you're actually ready for them and that you're not getting billed for any time that, they're standing around, right? So when you are actually ready on site for that team to come out there, stop by the Exhibitor Service Center and see myself or my team and let us know you're ready and we'll dispatch them for you. Don't get stuck in line. Fill out your outbound shipping info online. So, just like Mark was saying, there is always that mad rush there right at the end of the day when people realize they went through all the work on getting their freight to the show and they forgot about getting it out of the show. You don't want to be one of those people because you're an expert exhibitor, right? So, you're going to actually log in online and fill out that outbound paperwork in advance. So that paperwork is called a material handling agreement, and it basically tells us where is your freight going and who's picking it up. That way we know that they're allowed to take your stuff. So you can fill that out online and it'll be in your booth on the last day of the show. So you're not standing there in line trying to quickly get that paperwork created. Need a carrier? Speak to the official show carriers, Expogistics and EAX Worldwide. Those two carriers will be on site at the exhibitor service desk. They will have a separate desk set up there where you can speak to them at any time during the show and during move out so that you can get that scheduled with them. If you already have your own carrier, you are welcome to use them, but using the official show carriers gives you the peace of mind that they know exactly where they need to be, when they need to be, so that your stuff gets out of the show floor the way that it's supposed to. And
Good
finally,
stuff.
the Expo Group is here to help. Stop by the exhibitor service desk in the back of the 300 aisle, see my lovely face, my team, and we'll help you out with anything and everything that you might need at the show.
Awesome. Really good stuff, Dave. As we are moving along through this presentation, I want to clear up some obvious questions. If you've gone this far into the presentation and you've said to yourself, the Expo Group, carpet, flooring, what's that? You need to take a step back and shoot me an email at mark@metalcon.com. We need to get you into the exhibitor portal where you can look at the order forms that the Expo Group has to offer our exhibitors and make arrangements for the things that you need in your booth. There's a huge incentive to getting on this early because they have pre-show pricing as opposed to the pricing for these items at the show. So again, saving time, saving money, saving stress by getting into the exhibitor portal if you haven't done so already and making or filling out those order forms that you will see once you log in. Let's move on. We have an extremely busy floor plan. When we take a look at what the playing field looks like, we had to lay it down sideways to get it onto one form. We have expanded into the other hall. So you can see that we've not only filled up the first hall, we had to take up a portion of the second hall to accommodate all of the exhibitors in the show. So because we have a very busy floor plan, I'd like you to think about what you're doing at your booth and in your booth to attract attention. And there's some free tools that are at your disposal. And you get to access these items in the Exhibitor Hub. You can update your company description, upload products, videos, press releases, and show specials. Make it easy for prospects to find your company website and social media accounts. Take advantage of the matchmaking feature. Find recommended attendees with similar interests. Schedule meetings, make connections, and expand your pipeline before stepping foot on the show floor. And start making connections and networking with attendees today. To learn more, contact Amanda at metalcon.com. Amanda Carlo is our sales and marketing coordinator. questions about getting into the Exhibitor Hub, questions about getting your exhibitor kit, those questions can be easily addressed by Amanda at metalcon.com, Amanda Carlo, or myself, Mark at metalcon.com. It's all about connecting, connecting, connecting. And can I say this as well? These are complementary tools. We're not charging you to give you these opportunities and these weapons to enhance your presence at the show. If we're giving it to you for free, please use it. It's at your disposal. Now, start generating leads before the show opens. You have unique discount codes to invite your customers, prospects, and VIPs to promote your presence at MetalCon. Invite your prospects to see you at the show. If this raises a question, what are my unique discount codes? Reach out to myself or Amanda, and we will happily provide you with that information so that you can start getting that into the hands of your sales reps if you're a larger company and you have a sales force, or if you are sole proprietor, you can start using these things to invite people to the show yourself. Now, let's talk about training your all-star team. It's all about message discipline. You all want to say the same thing. And doing that can be as simple as training your show team to engage with attendees and convey key messages. If you arrive at the show and you're not aiming for anything, you'll settle for anything. And that's why it's also important for you to define your goals. What's your company's value proposition? Can you give me your company's value proposition in 30 seconds, a minute max? These are things that involve practice, things that you can practice to do before you even leave your office. And why should I choose your company over a competitor who's just a few booths away or around the corner? Now, another thing that you want to do when it comes to aiming for something, identify some key performance indicators to measure success. Let's come up with a goal for the amount of leads that each sales rep should be generating at the show. Come up with some quantifiable goals so that you make your participation and your time in the booth measurable. Um, and then it's back to practice, practice, practice. And role playing is essential to ensure that staff is capable of recalling information on the fly. It's nice to know this stuff. It's another thing to be able to not only know it, but share it with people when it is needed. And that's why practice is so important. The features, the benefits of your company's goods and services, important facts, frequently asked questions. Prepare for the common questions. And everyone should be fluid in your show promotions. Are you offering any show specials, any discounts, any promotion codes tied with going to the website and purchasing the items, or doing business with you either at the show or after the event wraps? And then your booth is your office for 3 days. You want to create a welcoming environment. Make sure that your entrance is open. There aren't any abstractions. You want people that are in the aisles to feel invited. Attendees easily enter and explore what you have to offer. And someone should be assigned perhaps to scan badges. You know, Creating a welcoming environment is as simple as those product offerings that you have, put them on a table in the back of your booth. So people have to come, walk in, be scanned, engaged with some people in terms of conversation, and then bring them to the items, the brochures, the things that you have to offer that are at the back of your booth. Clear branding. Make sure your brand logo and message are prominently displayed and easily recognizable from a distance. People are walking up and down these aisles. When they look to the left or they look to the right, depending upon where you are, you want to make sure that the banner in your booth is easy to be seen and recognized. And if you have the space, create specific zones within your booth for different activities, such as meetings, product demonstrations, and information sharing. And I want to bring David in here because when we think about the expo group, we think about tables, we think about chairs, we think about, I don't know, carpet. But what are some of the other cool things that the expo group offers exhibitors, as far as enhancements for their booth?
Absolutely. Thank you. So, other options that people will look for, a lot of people have already got some sort of a structure or, maybe a nice graphic that they will pop up in the back of their booth space. But if you're looking for something, you want to have something more of an actual structure or a wall back there, we do offer rental exhibits that come in all different types of shapes and sizes and configurations so that there's different ways that it can work for you. If you're wanting to look for a space that includes a closet so you can store extra giveaways and things, we have options that revolve around that. If you've got a lot of things to display, we've got back walls with lots of counter space as well as shelves and different things so you can display things that way. We also have ones that focus on more of a theater setting. So if you have a fancy video or demonstration that you want to show off, you've got a space to hang that monitor up on a wall in a prominent location with an area for people to gather around to view that. So lots of cool different options, and all of them are able to be branded with whatever logos, graphics, cool designs that you and your team can come up with. And we even have teams that can help you if you don't have something and want to come up with something. So lots of cool options to create your space and make it feel uniquely you to, really invite people in and show them what you're all about.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And once we've sort of looked at setting up our office, it comes back down to a game plan. You've practiced your pitch. You've, gone over your features and your benefits. You have now looked at creating a welcoming space, and now we're on the field. And so we want to talk about some of the things that in many cases are simply common sense. Don't eat in your booth. That's one of the huge takeaways. I go to other events, I see people eating in their booth. There's a place for that. And usually if you've got a team, you can set up shifts so that one person can break away and get something to eat and the other people, can cover, and then everybody is able to sort of be able to take a little bit of a break, but at the same time, you present professionally in your booth. Make eye contact with the people that you're talking to and look engaged. And lastly, listen. Listening is huge because it gets down to, asking open-ended questions. When you're doing your role playing, practice asking open-ended questions and practice listening because that's so important. And then because of the large amount of attendance at this show, we spoke about engaging people at the front of your booth, asking open-ended questions, walking them back to perhaps where you have some brochures or some giveaways, give them that information, scan their leads, and then release them into the aisle and go and grab somebody else. Hugely important. And for me, it's also important when you scan those leads to take notes because you're going to be talking to so many people. And the reason why it's important to take notes when it comes to the people that you're talking to is because at some point you're going to want to grade the level of interest or the level of lead that you're dealing with. So by all means, you've got the lead scanning app where you can make notes. I'm old fashioned. I grab business cards. I write notes on the cards so that I can recall what I spoke to people about. And it helps me to rank the leads that I get at the show, in terms of hot, warm, and cold. Now, this leads us right into the fact that we never want to leave our dessert on the table. You've prepared for the show. You've enacted an amazing game plan at the show. You've done everything that you were supposed to do. The team was firing on all four cylinders. Now we got to finish strong. And what does that look like? It's getting your post show plan together before you leave for the show. And it comes back down to that note taking. Write a follow up to your on site prospects that you're ready to send before you leave for MetalCon. You grabbed a whole bunch of business cards. Get a follow up out to those guys right when you get back to your desk after the show. Centralize all of the lead data. In other words, throw it all, everybody can be aware of whose business cards or whose opportunities there are, but you want to centralize all of the lead data so that you can begin to rate the effectiveness of the show. If everybody puts all of their leads together in MetalCon 2025, we can now track how many deals were closed down the road from MetalCon 2025 so we can get some KPIs and metrics on the effectiveness of the show. That's why we want you to centralize all of the lead data. Categorize the leads: hot, warm, cold, based on their engagement and interest levels. That's why taking notes is so important. Segment the leads by demographics, product interest, and decision-making role. And then score and prioritize the leads for follow-up based on their readiness to purchase, and assign leads to the right sales team members for follow-up. Track and nurture leads over time, adjusting strategies as needed. You know, it's always great and wonderful when you close a deal 3 days after the show, but there are some deals that have to work themselves out of the pipeline a month or 2 months after the show. And so, as you begin to look at these where you're having productive conversations, but the sale and the business isn't closing immediately, as you continue to engage with these leads, you may want to adjust your strategies on what's going to be needed to close those leads as those conversations continue. And again, this is all about helping to ensure that you maximize the value of the leads generated during the trade show. Focus your efforts where they are most likely to result in conversions. And at the end of the day, we want to do everything that we can to make sure that you're in a position to win. And a huge part of that is this post follow-up, this post-show follow-up process. Um, at this time, I want to thank you for your engagement. I will go back a slide because this is being recorded. If you have questions and you watch the recorded session, feel free to reach out to myself with any questions, any concerns. I'm at mark@metalcon.com. Our sales and marketing coordinator, Amanda Carlo, is amanda@metalcon.com. Dave, I'd like you to say goodbye to our attendees and then also share your email address with them as well.
Absolutely. Thank you again, everyone, for watching. And I hope that you got something good out of this. And if you ever need to contact the Expo Group, you can contact us directly at exhibitorservice@theexpogroup.com.
Awesome. Thank you again for everything. We look forward to seeing you at the show. I'm just an email or a phone call away if you need me, and I'm happy to hear from you and provide you with any type of service I can to make sure that you're not in the long line of people waiting to talk to Dave at the show. I want to make your experience smooth, easy, and successful. Have a great day, and thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.